everybody, and welcome to the videos again of the Alright podcast. Remember, it's not the best podcast, it's not the worst podcast, it's just
an alright podcast.
An alright podcast. Yeah, so we thought we would do videos again.
What happened to the clink?
What clink? Oh, you want to clink it?
Yeah.
Clink it and
Clink
drink it. So, for the people that are only kind of joining us, we were doing audio for a few episodes back, but now we're going to try to do video, and we're recording it on the camera, and we're in the car every Sunday around noon.
No, it's 6.
Well, we can't give our actual time, because some weird fans and crazy people might come out and say, "Oh, we know where you are. Can I come in the car and do the, be a guest?" No?
Was I no?
No.
Get out of the car.
Get out of the car, Seymour. You're not allowed here. No. Okay.
No Starbucks for you.
No Starbucks for you. Yeah, so we get Starbucks every Sunday and we come here and we chill for about half an hour and talk to you guys. But now we're doing video. And we have a lot to talk about.
We do. We have a very packed schedule this episode.
And I want you to start off the first topic, Nicola, of this episode that makes my blood boil. Come on. Go.
I think I know. Is it the make-off?
Yeah.
Okay.
You better believe that's the only thing that boiled my blood.
Okay, well,
Oh no, wait, there was something else that happened. Yes, yeah. Right, no, that one.
Right. So we'll start with the bake-off. Do you want to talk about last week's episode to build up into it? Into the finale.
Yeah, go on.
Right.
Go on.
So last week was the semi-final of the bake-off. There was 4 contestants left, right? So spoiler if you haven't watched it, we're about to say who won and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So there was 4 contestants left: Peter, Dave, Laura and Hermine, right?
Yeah.
So Laura was having a bad week.
A bad week.
She's had a couple of bad weeks
a couple of bad weeks.
But somehow she managed to stay in and get to the final, and Hermine, who was fairly good that week, got kicked out.
Do you know when you watch something, or you in the Bake Off, it goes by the week. You could do really bad all the other weeks, but kind of get through if some of them worse than you.
Yeah.
But if you done good that week, then you're like, oh, you're on top, you can get Star Baker and all, which I find stupid.
The judging goes week by week, which is fair because every week they do a different food topic. So 1 week could be bread week and the next week could be cake week. It's different bakes every week, so you can't be comparing last week to this week.
But Laura has done bad. She done bad in our starter, our
you're gonna say main course.
Yeah. But she was bad through all of it. And the woman, what's her name? Hermine actually done good.
Yeah, she was doing.
And
good.
how did she get kicked out?
It came down to the showstopper where she had a kind of jelly-like bake, and the other girl, Laura, she had a better one.
But she fucked up on her. I don't care if you course on this now.
Yeah, she did. She was very bad for the last couple of weeks, but somehow she managed to get through to the final. Anyways, so this week was the final episode, and.
Hold on, we're not going past that episode like nothing happened.
Yeah, okay, right. You got very...
Laura deserved to go home. Hermine, deserved to go to the finals, and she didn't. And I don't watch the Bake Off. I think it's a load of shite, but the reason why I watched it this year is because Noel Fielding.
Yeah, but he's been doing a couple of years now.
And Matt Lucas from the Little Britain. He's new this year. That's why I wanted to start watching it. And then they made it funny for me, so I goes, right, I'll watch this. And then I was getting interested, going, oh, how did they make them cakes? And You got really interested. I got into it.
Yeah, this year.
And when that happened, I was at the table, me and you were, and I was like, I'm telling you now, they're going to put Laura through for some reason. Watch it, and I don't know why. And if you do, the show is rigged. I'm not watching next year's. And that's it. What happened? And the person leaving us is Hermine. I got up off the table.
You were having a full-on
I got up off the
rage.
table. These people don't know I exist. These people don't know who I am in my life and never will. And I'm getting upset for this person.
Yeah.
And Laura, in the final.
Yeah.
That happened on Friday. Well, when did that happen?
We watched it on Friday. It was on Tuesday.
It was on Tuesday. We watched it Friday because you don't come up till the weekend. And she came last out of the three. The first, second,
Yeah,
third.
she had
Peter
a really
won.
bad final bake-off as
She
well.
does not deserve to be in the finals. She did
Like,
not deserve to be in the semi-finals
good.
or the quarter-finals.
She's good at some stuff, but it seems like a lot of the stuff, she's just rushing it all the time. She doesn't have herself prepared, and she's very messy all of the time, which I always say, if you're messy, it's not a sign of a good baker.
Mm.
You know, like
Yeah.
if you have your desk and your sleeve and your apron all messy, you know, it shows you're not, you know, you're not particular. You're not, you know, clean up as you go along or whatever. You know.
Paul Hollywood said it to her. What did he say to
Yeah,
her?
he said try and keep your desk clean this time.
That's what he said to her.
Yeah.
Now that's bad for someone to say
Yeah.
to you.
And especially, like, they're all amateur bakers as well, but, you know, like...
Peter wasn't.
No,
Dave
they're
was...
all amateurs.
Yeah, but...
They're not professionals.
I know they're not professionals, but the way Peter was going in, week out, you could go, oh, he's a professional.
And he's the youngest ever contestant on the Bake Off.
Where is he? 20 or 21?
I can look it up. He's in his early 20s anyways.
Yeah, he's the earliest baker. The youngest to ever enter in the Bake Off, and he won it. And he's actually good. He's 20.
Jeez.
So he's 20 years of age, and he won it. And I goes, what do they do after to get? So what happens when you win the Bake Off?
When you win it, you get a cake stand that has inscribed on it the Great British Bake Off 2020 winner. I don't know if they get a cash prize.
Check up there if they have money, because imagine going through all that effort doing that, and nothing. Imagine just getting a stall.
It's the whole experience of it as well.
That's great, but you need money to start your business.
The contestants don't receive a cash prize. No.
That's another thing I don't like about now. Oh, lovely, we have light again. That's another thing I don't like about now.
No, because it's getting to improve your baking skills. You're on telly. First of all, you've had to come through how many hundred contestants to get on the actual show. Then you're on the show and you're working with professional...
How did Laura get on the show?
Well, see, she's good at some things, but a lot of things she seems to rush.
The other fella
and mess
picked up knitting.
Yeah. No, making waistcoats.
Making waistcoats. He gave up on his fucking...
He didn't give up. That's his new interest now. But no, they don't get... See, they don't get cash, but they get like recognition and advertisement and promotion of themselves. So I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, one of the guys, I think he was in the final. He didn't win it anyways, but he went on to be a host in MasterChef. So like you'll get something out of it, like, you know, entertainment.
Peter might be allowed to go on Ireland FM or one of them bake shows in the morning.
Yeah, like I'm sure they'll be on the radios and all that kind of stuff in England.
But I don't think the Bake Off is that important this year.
There probably wasn't much of a hype about it, but
because of everything that's going on. Like.
But yeah, I'd still watch it.
Yeah.
Will you be watching it next year? Probably.
I probably will, yeah. Even though I said I won't. But for now, I'm pissed off at it. I'm angry at it.
But are you happy with the winner?
I am happy with the winner, but I think him or Dave could have won it.
Yeah, it was.
And he said it's down to a crumb.
They said it was the tightest ever draw.
Ever in the Bake Off.
Yeah, ever, yeah.
And if you haven't watched the Bake Off, I would recommend watching other ones. Also, Gogglebox I'd rather recommend. We need to still watch Gogglebox.
We haven't watched this
That's actually funny.
It is funny.
It's the people that make it. It's interesting. It gets you to discover new documentaries or new like what's going. Like, because I wouldn't sit down and watch the news every day. But when you watch Gogglebox a week, one of the topics that they watch is the news and what's going on that week of what's happening. So it is educational as well, but it also shows you the newest documentaries, the new films and stuff, and you get humour.
Yeah, yeah.
So actually, when you think about it like that, you know. When you like that.
It is, yeah. It's like a comedy. I don't know.
An educational comedy kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's modern. It's current, like, you know.
Yeah. Who's your favourite in that?
In the UK version?
Yeah.
I think the two, Sophie and, you know, the two.
The brother and sister.
Brother and sister.
Yeah.
What's the
I like
name?
them too. I either like them or I like Giles and Mary.
Mary and John.
Giles and his wife, Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like them.
Yeah, they're good as well. There's a few people that I like. If I had to pick someone to kick out, like to keep. I don't
Kick
know.
out or to keep?
No, like if I had to pick someone to, if I had to pick like 5 people to keep out of the whole show, that would be so tough.
Oh yeah.
Because I like Lee and that woman as well.
Yeah.
What's her name? Just right in the back of my head.
I don't know.
Yeah, but her as well.
Yeah.
They're best friends and stuff and all.
Yeah.
I would keep them as well. But I want to go on. I'm trying to keep these podcasts going because I want kind of 10 minutes each and stuff like that as well. So yeah, the Bake Off. What would you give it this year? Right now, 5. It's not the most exciting.
No, I think like the bakers were good, but I've seen other years where the bakers are just like exceptional, like they don't get anything wrong, kind of.
Oh.
Like this year there was very few Paul Hollywood handshakes. Like I'd say there was only 4 handshakes this year. Maybe.
What happens?
Usually you'd get 1 a week. Like that's how good the bakers are, that you get 1 a week kind of thing, maybe more.
Oh.
You know, 1 or 2 a week, but like they were good, but they weren't the best bakers. Probably because of COVID, a lot of people might not have applied to the show.
And they had to get the best they could.
Or if they did apply, maybe they didn't want to travel and stay in the tent. Because all those people had to stay in a hotel for 6 weeks in quarantine, and they weren't allowed to see their families. So they probably done 2 episodes a week because there was 12 people in the show and then an episode a week. So yeah.
Sure, and then you have to quarantine. 2 weeks before it.
Yeah.
In a hotel room on their own.
Yeah.
But I think they were allowed to hang around with each other.
Yeah, they were allowed to hang around
because they
but
didn't
they
have
weren't allowed to like see their families or anything like that.
Yeah, which would be tough as well. But I do want to talk about as well is that something happened to us. I know that we're kind of skipping yoke.
We're moving on to the next topic.
We're
we
moving
need to have
on
a little jingle that moves on to the next
I am not doing that. I am not arsed. I said last week, if I'm not too lazy and stuff and all, I'm going to put up the Starbucks logo. And Sarah commented, or she said in our chat, saying, oh, if I'm not too bit lazy, and then no logo. And I was like, well, I'm too tired, Sarah. I was too lazy, Sarah. And likes that.
Shout out to Sarah.
Shout out to Sarah. How's it going? But yeah, I want to talk about what happened to us yesterday.
Right.
So
let's start at the beginning. What were we doing yesterday?
Right. So I recently started a photography business. It's going good so far. I have a few jobs coming up, a few customers coming up as well, and I'm getting paid for it as well. So it's going to be good. So I had a job that I had to go out to Wicklow, and I had to take photos for a family and also a dog. And dog's cute. And that was grand. And then next of all, we have to put more detail into it. Our friend James went up to him. It was for his family members.
Yeah.
And we got that done. And then me and you and James, we went out to Home Savers afterwards. And we on the way home, and because she needed to get a thing or two. And then we dropped James home. On the way back on the M50.
Yeah.
Something happened.
Well, it was before we went on to the M50, because I was driving from James's house and trying to get to the motorway, and to do that you go through a couple of back roads on the country. And I remember before we got to the actual roundabout before the motorway, I remember I kind of heard something rattling on the side of the car, and I reversed and I took the bottle out of the bottle holder because that rattled sometimes, and I reversed and I drove a bit forward, and I could still kind of hear it. But we went on anyways to the motorway, and we were driving along as normal, and we heard the rim of the tyre come loose, and it was hitting off the tyre, and eventually it fell off.
Something just went... Yeah. And the noise of it hitting the bloody window. Yeah. I was like, oh, what's that?
But that's happened to me before on another tyre, and I was like, okay, right, it's just the rim, it fell off, it's fine.
Not the rim, the rubber.
Yeah, the rubber part of the rim. Yeah. So that's fine.
The whole rim falls off. You're like, oh, fuck.
That's fine. We're driving along then, and we could just feel that something was wrong with the car.
I usually when we come back from Wicklow, we have 2 friends up there, Sarah and James, show them. I usually lie like this. Nicola, you put your hands on the wheel there. We can demonstrate this. And then she's driving. Nicola, come on now, for the audience.
Know what it's like
for
to
the
drive.
audience,
Oh,
right? So
God.
you're driving, right? It's like, everybody, and this is the radio, so I turn the radio on. It's like, everybody's talking about me. I don't hear a word you say, right? And then, oh my man.
Right, okay.
Right?
And eventually you fall asleep.
Right, so I just do this and I doze off for a bit, right? But I had this feeling over me, and you said it as well, but I had this feeling like going, I literally was like this. Something's not right. Something's not right. Something feels weird in the car, and you're like, yeah, no, I have that as well.
Oh, you turned on the radio.
Oh, I turned on the radio. And he goes, yeah. Sorry if you hear cooked ham. Ruining my story, Dermot. On the radio. Yeah, and then he goes, so Nicola goes, right, there's something definitely wrong.
Yeah, so I was on the motorway, and it's 2 lanes, so I was crossing over and I was passing out a car, and when you drive over the paint on the road, like the middle line, obviously the tyre makes a noise when it comes in contact with the paint. That's normal. But I crossed over, and the sound of the tyre hitting the paint was a lot louder than normal on the right side.
It was like boom.
Yeah. It was probably like 3 or 4 times louder than normal. So I crossed over and I crossed back, and then I was kind of a bit wary of it, and I took the first exit I could off the motorway. Yeah. And I drove
exit 10,
and I drove past the roundabouts and just pulled in at the side of the road.
Yeah.
So we got out then and we looked at the wheel.
You have to give them more of a good story now, Nicola.
What else?
Come on, describe about it. We went down, we went around the roundabout, we parked up on this little side where it had a gate, and it was all dark and full of forest and trees.
Yeah.
And we were on our way to bloody, where was it? Dominican or something like that, whatever.
The name of
the town.
The closest town was
Dilgany. Home of the inbreds. I'm only messing, I don't know anybody in Dilgany. But Dilgany. And we're sitting there, and I was like, what the hell? And Nicola got out and she checked, and she goes, come here, will you? Come here.
No, I didn't say that. You got out at the same time as me.
Yeah, I was like, come here, will you?
We looked at the tyre, and from the bottom rim of the tyre to the ground looked a lot smaller than the same part on the other wheel.
It was like that.
Yeah.
On this side, on the left side, it was like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's
that
flat.
That doesn't look right.
That's flat.
First of all, we're like, that doesn't look right.
No.
So.
And I kept saying, that's flat, Nicola. Yeah. And you were like, hold on.
Yeah.
Because when Nicola gets into it, you can't, like, interrupt her.
No.
Because Nicola would be like, just wait.
Yeah, so I rang my parents anyways. And eventually I was told to put my foot on the tyre and see if I could squish it. So I done that, and I could squish my foot through the tyre. So obviously the air had gone
you
out.
put your foot on it. And
yeah. Whereas if you do it to the other side, the tyre is rock hard. You can't squish it.
Yeah.
So it was flat. So we rang AA, and they said you have to ring your insurance company. So I rang my insurance company, and they got in contact with a tow man. And
a tow man?
Well, what do you call him?
Hello there. Yeah, I'm looking for a tow man. Yeah, someone to come out and check me nail.
Well, a tower, whatever you...
There's a nail in my toe.
Whatever you call them.
A tow man.
Yeah, you said it.
But I didn't mean it like that. But your accent made it sound like toe, like my big toe. No. Me, I'm like a tow truck. A tow truck.
A tow truck, right? A tow truck.
Not a toe man, because he looks like he's a toe man.
He looks at your toes.
He looks at your toes and says there's a nail in it. No, right. A tow truck.
A tow truck. So your man on the phone said it could be 60 to 90 minutes.
Oh well, didn't we have the heroes?
So. Yeah, earlier that day, James had given us a tub of heroes.
2 tubs.
2 tubs of
Don't
heroes.
Be forgetting the other tub now.
So, we got the tub of heroes, and we had the phone up on the dashboard.
Yeah.
And we were looking through Netflix, and we're like, right, we can watch something now until your man comes.
And I was demolishing the box.
You ate all the caramels.
Not all of them.
I didn't get a caramel.
You don't deserve a caramel.
They were all gone, so we were like, right, we can watch something for an hour before he comes. We have enough phone battery, and we were charging our phones anyways.
Yeah, we had
with the car.
Yeah.
So we didn't even get to click something, and I got a phone call saying your man to be here in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's fine. We kind of got ourselves ready, and we seen your man coming then.
This fella was 5 foot nothing.
Yeah.
Grey hair.
Real long eyebrows coming out
like
like that.
He came up to us out. He was up on the truck, And I was like, geez, he's a tall fella. He jumped down off the truck. I'm surprised he didn't fucking break his legs. And came up to him and was like, how is it? Well, like that. And I'm just like, whoa, Gimli. Gimli from Lord of the Rings. I was like, Jesus, he's old. So he turns around to us, right, and he goes, right, let me have a look of it. And he looks at it, and then what did he do?
He said then he towed it up onto the trailer then. He pulled it up onto the back of the trailer, and he said what he could do was he could tow the car into Bray. But it'd be Monday.
Well, he wasn't driving the thing up going, well, I can tow it to Bray if you want.
He was out standing beside us.
He was standing beside us after he towed it away. He towed it away.
Yeah, with his big toe. He said, yeah, the best he could do, the only thing he was entitled to do under the insurance was to bring the car to Bray and get it fixed on Monday morning. But we said, no, we can't wait till Monday. Can't.
So we had to ring our friend James.
Yeah.
And James offered us to stay in his house for the night.
Yeah.
Because we had nowhere to go. It was about 15 minutes away from James's house.
Yeah, and your man at the tow truck company, he couldn't drive as far as Dublin because that was outside of his range.
Yeah, it's
so he could only drive to somewhere in Wicklow.
So, it came to the time where I almost got murdered.
No, we have to say what happened first.
Right, but I'm guaranteed I'd probably dare going, you almost got murdered now? What happened?
So, he said there's 2 passenger seats in the truck, right? Yeah. But he said because of COVID, he's only meant to be bringing 1.
Yeah.
So there was space for 1 person in the tow truck.
So it was like, so basically it was like Titanic, where Nick was like, I'm not leaving you, Jack. I'm not leaving you. And I was like, go on without me. And then I was left stranded.
No, because before this we had said, right, we'll book a taxi and the 2 of us will
can't
go
get a taxi.
In the taxi.
That would have cost so much money.
But we would have been together then.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
It would have been safer, right? But anyways, your man didn't know where he was going and he didn't have Google Maps, so one of us had to go with him. And
obviously you're going to put her in the van with the man.
Yeah, that's the logical.
You don't put me in, you don't leave a woman stranded out on the road.
Well, you don't leave someone else either.
Right, listen. There's a good question for you. Let me know down in the comments, right? If you and your partner were stranded on the middle of the road.
And there was only room for 1.
There was only room for 1. And there was this old man that'll tow you away 15 minutes away to a house. And would you stay there and let her get in the van or the big tow truck and go? Or would you let her stay on the side of a road in the dark on your own? When you really think about it.
But I suppose if a girl was standing on the side of the road, more cars
she'd look like a prostitute.
And ask, are you all right?
Yeah, and then fellas with vans would come along and go, how are you doing? You
right, well anyways, back to the story. There was only room for 1, so I said I'd go and I'll show him the way to James's house. So I went and I got in the truck and you were left on the side of the road, which I still feel terrible for.
I didn't mind. I looked her dead in the eyes and went like this. Go.
No. I could see that you were terrified.
I didn't care. I honestly really didn't care. I was like, nothing's going to happen to me. I'm a bloke. No offence, but
in all honesty,
girls are more likely to get fucking kidnapped than blokes.
No, but like, you were left on the side of the road, like literally in the middle of nowhere, no shops or anything around.
There was a roundabout, and I went out to the light. I crossed the road and went out to the oak. So I was seeing.
Yeah.
So no one could hit me with that car and thing.
Yeah, like there was a little bit of a path there, wasn't there?
There was a path and I went and it said yield beside me.
Yield for Anthony.
Yield for me. I need a lift. And then James's sister that I'd done the photography for was so kind to come out with the other sister. I don't want to mention their names on the podcast in case they're like, don't say my name on a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they wouldn't mind, but I'm just in case. And they literally said,
we told them where you were.
So instead of me getting stranded there for the night, they came along and they picked me up. And we had great crack in the car. We started talking about deers, that what would they do if a deer came along and got you.
You could feed some crackers or something.
Where was I getting crackers?
Well, you probably had a few heroes in your pocket, did you?
No, I didn't have any heroes. I should have. Why didn't I take some heroes?
Always bring snacks. Do you not know this?
No. Yeah, but we were all right in the car. But once we got, and I was freezing.
Yeah, you only had a light wind cheater on.
Wind sheet?
Yeah.
It was a rain jacket. It was
It doesn't have any fleece inside of it.
It's more for style. But anyway, me and James, the sisters, were talking about a deer, and it's like, what would you do if a deer actually came up to you? And I goes, I'd probably run. screaming like a girl, and I'd be running out, and all you hear is, "Ah, help!" And
But-
they turn around and goes, "That's something you do," and I goes, "Yep."
But if it was a female deer, it wouldn't have any antlers, so it probably wouldn't be as aggressive as a male deer that would have antlers and might charge at you.
Male or female deer, doesn't matter.
No, I think as long as you have some sort of food and you could feed it, it would.
I'm not feeding them my chocolate. That could have to last me.
You didn't have any
If
chocolate.
I had a
did you?
choice between eating my last caramel before a deer hit me or giving the deer the caramel, I'd chance it. And I'd eat the caramel.
You know, you could probably just like stand up to the deer and try and run for it. And
I ain't standing up to no deer.
Kind of spook it and it'll run off.
Right. You weren't in the situation. You don't know what it felt like.
Or you could turn the torch on your phone and try and blind it with the headlights and it'll run off
Listen.
with the light.
Listen. I was stranded on the side of the road. You left me there.
You were probably waiting a good 20 minutes before.
It was about
They
half
showed
an
up.
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not half an hour.
A half an hour of me standing there. And every time like a car would go by and kind of slow down and come around, I would literally have to pretend to be on the phone to someone and go, "Oh, hey, yeah, you
And
alright?"
what were you doing when you're there? Like, were you just standing
I
there
was,
like
this was
looking at
me.
the grass?
This was me.
Or, like,
This was me. Right? I keep talking. My throat. Like that's why I
get a
keep
sip of your
coughing.
hot chocolate.
This is me, right? We're recording with my phone.
Yeah.
Right. We're just gonna pretend this is my phone, right?
Just looking at a black screen, like, or was it on? Okay.
Oh Jesus! They put up a new photo.
So you had that.
Instagram. That's
Yeah.
grand, isn't it? Next of all, I look up and there's some car coming around, slowing down, looking at me. How's it, Derma? How's it going? Yeah, yeah, come here. I'm only out here. Are you coming around? Oh, sure. You'll be only a
Were
minute.
you
would
actually
you?
talking?
I'm talking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in case someone came along and said, "Oh, do you need a lift, buddy?" And I'm like, "Nah." I'd be like, "Come on, get in the car." And I'd be like, "No,
Yeah.
get in the car." And I'd be like,
So
"Listen,
you
pal."
probably was people that are from that area were probably like, oh, that's strange. Why is there someone standing on the side of the road
They probably thought it was a ghost.
in the dark? Like,
It wasn't dark
Beside
where I was
anything.
standing. It was like
No,
I
but
literally
it
came
was-
into the light.
yeah, but it was pitch black outside and there was just one little street light, kind of.
No, it lit up the whole side.
Yeah, but it was only one light.
Yeah, but it lit up the whole side, so I was literally visible.
Yeah.
I was seeing a lot. And yeah, so that was our kind of adventure, and then we had to stay over in James's, and we ordered light on, and then we had to
Yeah, so the car got back.
we ordered chipper.
Yeah, so yeah, your man brought the car back to James's house.
Hmm.
And he parked it up, and then eventually you came back then.
I eventually came back.
Yeah. You weren't too long behind us though.
Who knew if I was going to come back at all?
Oh no, but I was texting you to see if you were alright.
A text isn't going to save me, Nicola. But anyway, we got back. I got dropped back, and the car was. They drove up to the house, and I goes, Jesus, he placed that nicely in the garden, didn't he? And they were like, yeah, and they started laughing. And then we went into James's house, and then we sat there, and we watched the Truman Show. Which you've never seen.
No.
Jim Carrey classic. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. It's brilliant. What do you think of that? Do you think that was good?
That was good, but I kind of got the whole idea of the movie kind of earlier on.
I think you do.
Yeah.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
But if you go back and watch the Truman Show, again, look at the newspapers.
Yeah. You can,
Every time he
you probably
says
see
something,
a lot
you
more detail in.
A lot more detail.
Yeah.
You have to watch it twice to kind of get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we watched that, and then we ordered a chipper. We
Chinese.
got a Chinese,
Yeah.
sorry, and we got
And you had a little accident with your curry sauce.
I spilled it on the counter, and then I had to clean it.
Mm.
Yeah, it was shocking. Yeah, and then what happened? And then we kind of fell asleep. We woke up early. We got you called a man, and he
Yeah,
came
so
out.
we called a mobile tyre fixer. So he came out with a spare tyre and he fixed it and he put the new tyre on. The only thing is it's a bigger tyre, so it's not meant to be on the car permanently.
Yeah.
So I have to go get that changed.
Well, come here. It was a great adventure all the same.
Mm.
And we're only a minute left of this podcast, really.
We still didn't talk about another TV show that we're watching.
What's that?
I'm a Celebrity.
Well, come here. That's going to have to wait till next week
Right.
now. This is only half an hour
Okay.
podcast.
We'll keep that till next week. Next week will be the final.
Next week is the final of the pod, so we'll be able to talk about the final and all. We'll be able to talk about the whole experience of it.
Yeah.
Right. So guys, if you did enjoy this podcast, please give it a like. Let us know if you enjoyed the video. Brent, I like the video.
I like the video version of it.
I like the video version. I think the audio people kind of tend to, so that if you see people,
Yeah.
contact, they'll get
It's
more.
more
The more suitable,
Face-to-face,
yeah, face to face, you feel more interactive with it. I'm planning on getting a better set up again, but we'll talk about that after. But guys, thanks for watching another episode of the Alright Podcast. Remember, it's not the best podcast, not the worst podcast, just the Alright Podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Right, sorry, before we go, Nicola always gives facts.
Well, I don't. It was only last week I started.
Yeah, so go on, give your fact of the week. Sorry, the podcast's going to go over a little bit, but it's okay.
My fact of the week is that sometimes dogs pretend to be sick just to get attention from their owners.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Did you ever experience that?
Me?
Yeah.
No, never.
Okay.
Well, there you go. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.